done yet.
No, that's fine. So this is just nothing. It's just for mobile phones being projected. Okay. Quick concept note. How does this work? Essentially, we're going to put the water sample into this cylinder, inject a reagent, and then the phone will do optometric analysis on this to find out how much fluoride there is in the water. Questions?
Explain reagent
Optometric.
and optometric.
So like from even optics.
How is the phone sensing?
Yeah. Okay.
USB.
Wait. What was the first one? Reagent. A reagent is essentially a chemical that you mix with,
Which reacts?
which reacts with another thing to come up, will give you an output, and you have to try and understand what the output is.
Optometric.
Optometric is like light-based analysis. So essentially reading colors and all that kind of stuff. For example, face recognition is optometric. It's like photometric or optometric.
Light colors, does it matter if it's daylight or?
Yeah, no, I mean, no, it doesn't matter any of that. But essentially, the camera will throw light into it, white light, and then the color that we'll get, we'll try to figure out how much fluoride there is.
That's why you were talking about the camera light the other day.
No. How does the phone is it's a camera sensor.
Yes. So the smartphone has a camera?
That.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Now, to be clear, this is not my work. I'm representing someone else. It goes.
How accurate is this work, the data that you collect?
That's a good point. We'll talk about that also.
We don't use what.
Yeah.
Does the light have to be of a certain intensity for
No.
this to work?
Nothing like that.
That's it.
But you have to block out all other light,
Yes,
To test for water. And if you don't-
right?
that is correct.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this
That's
here.
what that device is doing, right? Blocking out all of the light.
So this cylinder is what we manufacture, and currently screen covers, sorry, mobile covers. So this is exact quantity 5 ml, and is black all around for a reason, which is doesn't allow other light to come in, and it has a transparent end, which will fix above the camera. So I need to wash this with the sample that we're going to try. So I'm essentially just going to shake it, throw it away. Okay. Okay, so this has exactly 5 ml of water in it. Then I take out the reagent, which looks like this little thing, small injection. Yeah. Open it. And place it on top. And put it up here. Then basically screw this in.
And so what is that wire on top?
That's the reagent. So when I screw it in, it gets pushed into the water.
So essentially, instead of having to look at it and then analyze it under anything, it's just a photograph.
There are many ways to analyze water for fluoride. You can do it with ion based, which is like very accurate, takes about 3-4 hours. There are other techniques where you send it to a lab and the lab does a lot of chemistry stuff onto it, which I'm not particularly sure of, and it takes it 2 days to come up with the result.
What exactly is this reagent?
Not sure, but I know that this reagent cannot, if you have very high level of fluoride, which is about 2.5 parts per million, this reagent cannot detect it. But it won't show any darker color or nothing.
If it's too high.
If it's too high. So this reagent, I'm not sure what the chemical is, but it's up till 2.5 parts per million. So we have another reagent for 2.5 to 6.
And okay, my question. Fluoride is the stuff that your teeth all from, right?
Fluoride,
That's why
yes.
bad for
Fluoride is good up to the level of 0.5 parts per million. So you need some fluoride in your life, like toothpaste. But after 1.5 parts per million, it starts doing fluorosis. So there are two types of fluorosis. One is the bones, the other is of, I think, some blood related thing.
No, my question is so that if there's another thing that goes from 2.5 to 6, which is obviously the really dangerous or whatever, but why do you have this test? Like, why isn't everything sent to a lab? Why is there a kit for it?
Oh yeah, so the reason there's a kit for it, because right now what happens is when the government collects this data, and there are parts of India that's highly contaminated with fluoride, so as high as 4 or 4.5 parts per million, which essentially stunts growth, bone growth goes bad, and a lot of different things. So when data is collected by the governments, they go to the lab with it, and the data never comes back to the people who live there. The idea with this is the person can do it himself or herself,
Empower the people.
or the local bodies working there.
Accessibility.
Yes, that's the only reason to do that, and we can't have one reagent for the whole range because of chemistry.
Right.
How long do you need to keep it inside? Like
Yes, and that's what we'll do. So now this is not necessary. Once it's pushed in, it immediately reacts, give you a color. Then what you have to do is attach it to this case that we've made, and we're going to very soon, what's the word? Retire this case.
Why?
Because it's very hard to make cases for all kinds of phones, and all kinds of phones have different ways they use camera, and it changes the light analysis, so you have to calibrate each time. So after this, what will happen? This will connect to a camera, which will connect to this. Anyway, so this is our app. It's a bit unclear because of whatever. And it says start survey. And then you can make a new data point. You can ask several questions like what is the source type, right? Okay.
Is it the wire?
There's a cable, right?
This is a cable. Anyway, so this is the question on fluoride. So I'm going to press use external source. Then it asks me, did you dilute the sample? And we did not. We just use it as it is. So you press no dilution, and then you say start, and then you keep it face down. And then it will do some testing, and then it will make a sound that we all know that the result has arrived.
So how accurate is this again?
How accurate is this? So 3 different labs in the world have tried to verify us.
Okay.
The error rate is 0.05.
Is it low or high?
Very low.
He also said like
So when I say
1.5
1.5, 1.5 parts per million, and the error rate is 0.05. So it could be 1.55 or 1.45.
You're 95% accurate.
Okay.
So it's just beeping now.
And like, so this testing that you do it, your volunteers do it, or like you give it to villages and all?
That depends on what the arrangement is.
This is costly, this kit?
I can
And
really-
this is parts per million of the tap water you give.
What was the same?
So what is this? Is it
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
bad?
yeah.
What does it mean?
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
What was the
1.5.
1.5? It actually makes a ta-da sound.
Yes, it just states.
And if it's wrong,
It's a nice detail.
If it's
I
wrong,
mean, like if it's bad.
oh, if it's too high, well, it still says the same. We haven't thought of that. But
And the NGO workers' face drops.
yeah. So we did some of this work in Jharkhand. We did 100 samples in a village, and one of them was 2, and the rest were below 1.5. So yeah, it's up to you to recognize that. Yes.
Have you done any work on groundwater
Yes.
samples
Yes.
in Delhi?
Not in Delhi, but in Jharkhand and now in Punjab. Going to be Punjab.
Where does fluoride come from into the water?
Many different sources. One of them is this mineral that releases sodium fluoride or something like that into groundwater
Still
table.
a natural process.
It's a natural process.
Any artificial, man-made?
Yes, I think there's one pollutant that industries release into sewage usually. If that seeps in, it results in fluoride in groundwater. I can't remember the name of that pollutant, but it's not a big thing as of yet. Biggest thing is that you can't drink this water, or even if the water is 2 parts per million containing fluoride, there is a way to prevent bad health effects of that by eating the right diet. So you eat different kinds of food to challenge this fluoride away, like into your kidneys and so on. So you basically, if you know this information, so it's 1.6, you can change your diet. If it's 2.5, you still have to change the diet, but you have to contact the authorities to give you piped water or treated water.
So is this a one-time use? So do you have NGO social workers going and testing it in every house, or giving it to people and then taking the equipment back?
That's a question about how we get it done. So for example, in some parts we have just given this kit for free to volunteers.
So the cylinder and the...
Yeah, so the cylinder, this mixing chamber, it's just for waste.
But do they have smartphones?
So the thing is, that's where the complication lies. This works with any smartphone as of now. We've tested with the cheapest one. So this one is like 6,000 rupees. But in the future, it will work with all smartphones. So that's where the challenge lies. How do we, if the smartphone doesn't exist, who do we partner with, or how do we get the funds to give the smartphones? So that's the challenge. That's why you have to go through NGOs already that exist there, or have donors who are interested in this, and so on and so forth. But essentially, it allows anybody to do this testing. This is just fluoride, and fluoride happens through this kind of analysis. There are many other toxicants, from arsenic, nitrates, nitrites, phosphates, iron, pH values, and so on. Those are all strip-based tests. So you drip a strip into the sample, and then it gives you color. And then you have to look at a chart and figure out where is the group where it lies. So it's dependent on subjectivity of the person looking at it. So essentially, we've made an app that looks at the strip test and tells you what the color is, what the exact value is. Similarly, we're doing electrical conductivity, wherein there's this cable like this, which dips into water, and then you get conductivity, electrical conductivity.
So you mentioned earlier that you went to Jharkhand and collected data. One of the villages had high amount of fluoride, right? So what after that?
That's a great question. So a lot of political factors lie there. So in Jharkhand and Bihar, we have PHED. So you have to then do some advocacy.
So do they act on that? Right?
So in that particular case, it was outside Ranchi. There's a block called Namkum. They did it. First of all, they can't do anything to the water that's underground. So water coming from a hand pump, you can't do anything except shut it down. So what they did was basically marked it red with a thread or something at that point of time.
It just alert the people that it's...
Yes, and then the second thing is they have to somehow bring piped water. Now if a city like Delhi has piped water up to only 45%, that's the network, then in Namkum block outside Ranchi, it will not be there at all. So they have no option.
So but that hand pump water, it can be filtered through, right? And
it's very difficult to treat fluoride.
So they change their diet, right?
They only do through a dietary thing.
Even RO processes don't work for fluoride?
They do, but the problem with RO is they send the wastewater back to the groundwater table. So Rajasthan, Gujarat and Punjab loved RO idea so much that they have RO plants almost every 1 kilometer in some districts. And all of them are sending their wastewater down. So in Punjab, if you take a water sample from underground water, it's basically a cocktail of arsenic, iron, nitrate, nitrites, fluoride, and a lot of other things. Fluoride was first found in Chandigarh also.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, so how much is the organization that's doing this or you're involved in this? Because if you say if it's more than 1.6 and if I need to change my diet, but then a lot of communities that would be affected by this may not have the luxury of changing their diets.
Right. So it's not like changing your diet from barley to maize or something like that. It's essentially about what, as much as I know, I'm not a health expert, but working with an organization that does all of this, I'm only the technical side of it. What I've heard and what I've seen being deployed is that you change the kind of vegetables you eat. So maybe, I think carrots help, something like that. So you have to figure that out. And there are like experts out there who worked on the field for so long. They know how to get that nutrient into your diet. It's not about a particular vegetable or a fruit. It's about that particular nutrient you need. How do you get it?
I mean, that's obviously not the solution, right? Like an NGO would obviously look at advocating with the government about changing water pipelines and like that. That's
Yes,
the
but
preferred solution to this problem.
but no, for NGOs it's still preferable to change.
Just on a local basis.
Yeah, affect local diets,
Okay.
change awareness. Please don't have
It
water
might
from
actually
here
be
and
more
so on.
doable than
Yes,
convincing the
definitely,
government.
definitely. So yeah, that's water from the tap.
Thank you so much. And perhaps we can take more questions after.
Yeah,
after
yeah,
the
please.
whole,
Yeah.